on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala during their truckload tree sale. Examples: big number 5 size red maple or loquat tree, regular $39.99, just $19.99 during this sale. Big number 10 size Drake elm, regularly $129.99, but just $79.99 during this sale. Trees in dozens of varieties, any size you want, all marked down by 33 to 66%. Check the ad for other savings, including many buy one, get one free deals throughout their huge store. Got a summer yard or landscape job? Bob and his crew can do it for you with their creative ideas or to your specs for a whole lot less of your hard-earned money. Check the new summer store hours too, daily till 3, Saturdays till 2. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, homegrown, locally owned since 1952.
What are the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking? Will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
John Tesh Radio Show.
Over 40% of women surveyed will check out your LinkedIn to see how you're doing job-wise. But stuffing your anger down isn't the answer either. In fact, that makes blood pressure skyrocket even more than screaming. Instead, go for a run. The latest coverage options are heavy-duty, designed to conceal even the biggest and baddest tattoos while still looking natural.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your mobile Verizon rep. But not just here, I'll deliver the phone to you in your home. While I'm there, I'll only sell you what you need and I'll personalize it to you. Want to have me get you connected? Then call me at 352-528-0020. I even offer unlimited home phone service for just $20 per month. Just call me, your mobile Verizon rep, at 352-528-0020.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It is time for Legally Yours. This is the segment of the broadcast hosted by John Fuller. He is an attorney here in Ocala at the law firm of Fuller and Fuller. The other Fuller is his beautiful wife, Janet. John is here to answer your questions. Now, you need to know what date it is because sometimes John can't be here because he's at court. Today is June 17th, 2015. If that's the same date you have on your calendar, then you're listening to a live show and your phone calls are invited. It is June 17th, 2015. The number is 622-9622. Good morning, John.
Morning, Larry. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good morning to our listeners. I hope everybody's had a nice week so far. And we look forward to hopefully having some folks call in. If you have a legal question that pertains to something that you or a family member or a friend are involved with, primarily in the areas of personal injury, with serious injuries, commercial or business disputes, litigation, or Social Security disability. Those are the areas that we practice in. I'm board certified in civil trial law and in business and commercial litigation law. We also represent a select number of people who are involved in very complex dissolution of marriage, family law issues, which usually have a business commercial component to it. So we also do that. We'd be happy to, if you think you have a case and you'd like to set an office conference with us, you can call us at 352-547-4292 or visit our website, which has a lot of information on it, which is ocala-lawyer.com.
Does a person who wants a divorce, is that person required to get the agreement of the other person? Can one person file and that's the end of it, or?
Well, one person can file, but they must serve a copy of the petition on the other person, who has then 20 days in which to file an answer to the petition for dissolution of marriage. If the other person acknowledges that the marriage is irretrievably broken and there are no assets to dissolve, there are no debts to dispose of, there are no children involved, that's a simplified dissolution of marriage, and that's all it requires. That's fairly atypical, because practically all of us, even if we don't have assets, we have credit card bills or some kind of debt, car payment, house payment, whatever. But those kind of cases, certainly are simplified. Divorces, ultimately, the majority of them do settle, because no matter how acrimonious or how much emotional hostility, most people ultimately come to the decision that it's more reasonable to try to reach a financial settlement that, while they may not like it, it is a compromise they can live with, and it's better than taking their assets that ultimately are theirs or their children's and spending it on expert witnesses and legal fees and court reporters and depositions and all the things that make litigation very expensive. But dissolution of marriage is a unique type of litigation, because it is often fraught with significant emotional components. And certainly children complicate that part of the equation.
I'm guessing it's different from state to state, or is it not?
Well, all laws are different from state to state. There may be similarities, but each sovereign state passes its own laws involving things such as state criminal statutes, family law, real estate law, those things.
And you have a phone call, and may I remind the listeners that you're all invited to call to ask John a question or make a comment. And today's date is June 17th, just so you know you're listening to a live show or not. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with John Fuller.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, sir.
I have a question for you. My daughter has worked at a place, I won't mention it, for 4 years. She never took any vacation times. That vacation time was one of the perks, along with medical care. She's been, and while she was there in the 4 years, she's had bones broken. She's been slammed to the floor, and at this age, she decided she was going to quit and try to find something else after 4 years. So she typed up a
resignation
and put it on her employer's desk. And so she called a week later and asked them how much vacation time she would get. And they said, you have to take your vacation time while you're still working or you don't get it. Now, is that legal?
Well, it depends on what her relationship was when she went there. An employer can establish reasonable rules on accrued vacation time, and it depends if they had a employee manual or a personnel file. Some companies have policies that they give the employee when they hire them, a personnel file, a personnel manual, and it says that vacation time does not carry over. In other words, if you don't use it in the year in which it accrues, it does not carry over.
Nothing was like that, because she wanted to accrue more time in case she had some serious sickness and had to be off for an extended
Yeah. Well, if they didn't have anything in writing and they had a custom and practice to allow people to do that and to calculate vacation time, yes, she may possibly have a claim. However, a lot of that depends upon what are the arrangements and the policies of her employer. And obviously, hindsight works 20/20, but those things should have been worked out to begin with. Normally, when you go to work somewhere, they have an employment memo or an employment policy statement, a handbook, personnel manual, and it spells out what you are to get in the way of compensation, health insurance, retirement plan, accrued vacation, and how much vacation do you get per year, and does that carry over? So I couldn't tell you more than that over the phone.
Well,
I would recommend that she. I would recommend that. I would recommend.
Been sold just a month or two ago. So there's a brand new company who is the owner now.
I'd recommend she contact someone who specializes in employment law and have a consultation with that lawyer. And if she has any documentation from her employment, like I've described to you, she needs to get copies and take those to her employment lawyer.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and sometimes that's what it boils down to. You have to actually sit with somebody. It's kind of hard, like you say on the radio, to get all the details.
It's impossible. I mean, we like to talk about general principles, as I did there. But I know practically the majority of all small companies that I'm familiar with have a policy, and they don't allow employees to accrue and carry over vacation time. If you're a small businessman and you're operating a small business with a relatively few employees, and somebody works there and they're supposed to get 2 weeks vacation every year, but they don't take it, and they come in after 3-4 years and say, I've got 8 weeks of accrued vacation, I'm going to take off 2 months during the Christmas retail season, have a nice life.
Yeah, right.
You can understand why that would be something that businesses as a norm will not allow. They provide that vacation time accrues on an annual basis, and it must be utilized because it does not carry over into the following year.
Yeah, and the private sector is way different than the public sector in that regard, because sometimes when you retire or just leave a job working for the state, for example.
But when you work for the public sector, they have human relations people, and they usually cross their T's and dot their I's, and you have an employment agreement, you have a personnel manual, you have policies, procedures, and all that is spelled out. And big companies all have that. I don't know whether this was a mom and pop operation or a big company or what they had.
Yeah.
So,
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. The phone lines are open if you want to call John during the course of the show. We'll take a break, and you'll have a good 12 minutes to speak to John. The number is 622-9622. Today's day is June 17th, so you know whether you're listening to a live show or not. June 17th, 2015. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by MyFWC.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly sunny today with a thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. Our high 90 to 97. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 73 to 76. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a thunderstorm around, mainly inland. Our high 90 to 95. Friday, clouds, some sun with a few thunderstorms around, again, mainly inland. High 91 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Steve Travis.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy. never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind. With a custom treatment plan that really works, I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Want to learn more about your furnace or air conditioner? Tune in this Saturday for free tips and expert advice on how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com. Saturday, free tips and expert advice how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Fidgeting can make it easier to lose weight. Many couples think that once they're married, all their issues with in-laws will disappear, but Steinorth says a marriage magnifies these problems, so if you're having family clashes with potential in-laws, it's best to resolve those issues before you get married. Just like couples can take out a loan for a house or a new car, there's been a huge surge in loan companies catering to wannabe parents.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, 12 minutes. I'm trying to get in a little quick story here with John. All right, we're back on the air. John Fuller is here, and John, of course, from the law firm of Fuller & Fuller. And John, it looks like you have a phone call coming in. So
Very good.
All right, good morning. You're on the air with John Fuller.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Fuller.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very good, thank you. If you receive a traffic ticket and you want to fight it in court, does the officer that wrote the ticket out, does he have to show up in court? And if he doesn't go to court the day that you're scheduled, can you get out of the ticket that way?
Yes.
Very good.
Here's the answer.
I've won many of them that way. They can't prove their case. They can't prove their case. If you're there at the appointed time, he's there. The clerk subpoenas all those people involved. If an accident is involved, what have you, the arresting or charging officer subpoenaed. If he doesn't appear, even if it's for a speeding ticket, if you're there, the judge may have you wait, a reasonable period of time to see if he's just running late. But if he's not there within about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 of the appointed time, you stand up and move to dismiss the charge on the grounds that there is no evidence against you. You deny it. He's not there and ask the court to dismiss the charge. The court will have no alternative but to do so. Back in the day when I did a little bit of everything as a young lawyer, I won dozens of cases that way. So the short answer is yes.
Well, you would think that evidently a lot of people are not aware of that because you don't hear of many people that will contest a speeding ticket or some other minor little thing and take it to court and knowing more than likely that the officer will not appear and actually get off the case.
Well, I will tell you that it is unusual for the charging officer not to be there. That does not happen in a large percentage of cases. It does happen, and over many years of practicing law and doing a lot of those cases early on, I have seen it happen. I've seen it happen with a number of different law enforcement agencies. But that's not the norm. I wouldn't count on that as being the defense I was going to depend on to carry the day.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's the officer's decision whether or not to carry it on.
No, he files the ticket. You request a hearing, which you have to request in writing. The court sends out a notice of the date it's going to be heard and notifies all the charging officer that he has to be there. And you have to be there too. And if you fail to be there, then they can issue sanctions and punishment and enter a judgment against you and a fine. Anyway, that's the answer to it. It's very rare. It's very, very rare that law enforcement does not show up at any civil traffic infraction hearing, but it does happen from time to time. Sometimes they get sent out of town. Sometimes they forget about it. Sometimes they oversleep because they've worked many hours, and that happens. But it's a rarity, but when it does, the case should be dismissed.
All right. Thank you for the call. The phone line is open if you want to call. The number is 622-9622. Just to repeat the date so you know when you're listening to a live show. It's June 17th. John Fuller is here to answer your legal questions. Do schools ever bring kids to the courtroom just to see what it's like?
Occasionally.
Does that happen?
Occasionally, and judges are very nice and accommodating. The children have to observe all the rules of decorum in the courtroom.
Yeah.
They can't chew gum. They can't go in with their shirt tail hanging out. They can't talk or whisper or be disruptive. And they can't go in and out of the courtroom whenever they want to. They have to do it at appropriate times. But, those are just the rules. Everybody plays by them. I do, and every other lawyer.
It seems like it'd be a great learning experience.
It is good. I know of a number of classes who have gone down, and a lot of times we have a great group of judges here, and even so in the past, most of our judges were just simply very good. If there is time and an appropriate break, I've seen the judge step down off the bench after there was a recess and the jury was out and that sort of thing, and go out and address the students and tell them a little bit about the procedure and ask them if they have any questions. And the judges are super courteous to young people like that in those circumstances. It doesn't happen very often because it's hard to get them organized. They have school, and court is not like Matlock or Perry Mason or things like that.
Right.
You can go to court, and if there's no trial, if they're just doing first appearances, there are 200 and something people there being brought up and charged and pleading not guilty or changing their plea, and that's about as exciting as watching paint dry.
At the Student Media Festival that Robert and I did, maybe it's a month ago already, Judge McCune and Judge Williams, Sarah Ritterhoff Williams. The two judges were two of the presenters. They presented together. I don't know if you knew that. It was kind of cool to see them like that in that setting.
Yes, and those are two of our very excellent judges who both of them are extremely active in our community. They want to educate people about our judicial process. They are two of the great examples of the service that our judges give, and I'm sure they both did a magnificent job. They're both excellent lawyers before they became judges, and that's one of the prerequisites to being a good judge. So they're very, very fine judges, and I'm sure they did a good job.
And I know Judge McCune has something with the Veterans Court or something like that. I don't exactly understand it.
He may. I'm not familiar with precisely that. I spend most of my litigation time in circuit court or in federal court. They are county court judges, and so I do not appear there very often anymore. But I have, and I've known both of them for 20 years, 25 years for one, and probably 35 or 40 years for the other one. And they're both fine people. They were good lawyers, and they're good judges.
So I would think that going to federal court would be scarier, although it's probably not true, because going to court is a scary thing for anybody, but it just seems like a bigger thing to go to federal court than to county court.
I agree with you. When I was in law school, they used to joke about federal practice being the juster justice. Federal court has more rigid rules of procedure. The rules are different. Even some of the rules of evidence are slightly different from Florida. And I think it does intimidate a lot of people. And I think that I was president of the North Florida chapter of the Federal Bar Association, and we did it with Gainesville and Ocala. There was a very small group because if you're not doing, it's like anything else. If you're not doing it regularly, you have to go back and reacquaint yourself. Because they have local rules, local procedures, local customs, and it's different. The principles are the same. The federal judges that we have here and have had here are all very, very brilliant. They're very courteous to the lawyers. They run very fine courtrooms, and I have a lot of admiration for the judges that I'm familiar with here in the Ocala division, their predecessors, and the ones in Gainesville. We've been very fortunate.
So what would the average citizen be going to federal court for? Would it be tax things or?
Well, if you're an inmate in the county jail and another inmate beats you up and you sue the sheriff in the jail, all of those cases are in federal court.
Oh, really?
They are if you have interstate commerce cases involving parties from two different states, it could be in federal court. They are federal criminal laws. A lot of our drug laws are federal criminal laws that are tried in federal court.
That story out of upstate New York, that woman who had a relationship with those two murderers and helped them escape. Boy, that woman did a dopey thing, huh?
Well, I saw the headlines in it, but I've been super busy, and I haven't really followed it very closely. I just saw the headlines, so I'm not knowledgeable enough to comment.
John, give us a number so we can call you off the air, and also where are you? What's your location?
Yes, our office address is 1396 Northeast 20th Avenue, Suite 500, Ocala, Florida. The number is 352-547-4292. Our toll-free number is 855-534-2565. If you miss those numbers, you can get all the information and contact us through our website at ocala-lawyer.com.
All right, excellent. John, thank you as always.
Thank you.
It's always interesting to listen.
Thanks to the listeners.
Thank you definitely to the listeners. We'll be right back. All right, just about 1 minute before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. Real quick look at the weather. 82 degrees here at the studios of The Source right now, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall. The forecast is calling for a slight chance of showers, and then a heavier chance of showers this afternoon. In fact, in about an hour or so, look for some the chance of showers to increase. Mostly cloudy the rest of the forecast with a high near 91 degrees. Now it's a little bit lower than they were saying earlier. The heat index values are as high as 100 today, though, so it's 91, feeling like 100. Southwest winds from 3 to 7 miles per hour, and the chance of precipitation is 50%. If it's anything like it was yesterday and Monday, there's a good chance we will see some more rain, and lightning has affected not only us here at the station, but I'm sure many of you out there as well. Tonight, a 50% chance of rain late in the evening, mostly before 9 o'clock, and mostly cloudy with a low around 74 degrees before we reach Thursday morning. And wind from the southwest around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, pretty much a repeat of the forecast I just told you about just now. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Performance in any engine. And now it's just $5.99 a quart at Napa. So whether you're pushing a four-banger, rolling a straight six, or running a V-something that rattles grandpa's dentures and frightens small children, treat it right with Mobile One from Napa. Only $5.99 a quart. Conquer the job with Napa know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 6/30/15.
Performance Bicycle, where great rides begin, has created an event so big, there's only one way to say it. Everything's on sale. Now through Sunday, everything's on sale at performancebike.com. Over 10,000 items reduced for this once-a-year event. Plus doorbusters up to 70% off. All the top brands, all the best gear, all the savings, plus free shipping. Performancebike.com's Everything's on Sale event ends Sunday. Go to performancebike.com now. Some exclusions may apply. Visit performancebike.com for details.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. USDA's Ag Statistics Service reports this week the peanut crop is 16% pegging. That compares to the 5-year average of 12%. The peanut crop is rated nationwide 0% very poor, 3% poor, 25 fair, 58 good, and 14% excellent. In Georgia, 49% of the crop has been blooming, pegging at 14%. That's about average. Soil moisture, though, is 9% very short, 41 short, 46 adequate, and only 4% surplus. They rated the Georgia crop 4% poor, 25 fair, 55 good, and 16% excellent. Extreme hot and dry conditions persisted throughout the week. Row crops are showing signs of stress. Rain is needed all across the Georgia belt. Alabama showing pegging at 28%. The average is about 18. Soil moisture in Alabama, 6% very short, 33% short, 52 adequate, 9% surplus. Their crop conditions were 3% on peanuts poor, 14 fair, 62 good, 21% excellent. They said it was hot, very dry. Good, slow rain is needed. Dry week allowed for spray applications on cotton and peanuts. Florida's 20% of their peanuts pegging. Normal is 18. Their crop conditions 1% poor in Florida, 20% fair, 64 good, 15 excellent. They said little or no rain and still very hot.
It's early in the peanut season, but not too early for the lesser cornstalk borer. The only thing lesser about this pest is the performance of your peanut crop, unless you protect it with Demolin. Applying Demolin early in the season protects against lesser cornstalk borer and other pests that wreak havoc on your peanut fields. Maximize your peanuts with Demolin's unique 3-spray approach. Contact your local dealer to learn more about Demolin. Always read and follow label directions.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
Pay your taxes, eat your vegetables, watch your weight, mow the lawn, clean the house. We all have stuff we don't want to do. Isn't it about time you did something you wanted to do? Like getting your pilot's license? At Ocala Aviation, they make it fun and easy, and you can start by taking one of their Discovery flights. For only $99, you get to go up in the airplane with an FAA-certified flight instructor and actually fly the plane yourself. It's a perfect way to see if flying is for you. And once you get that ultimate feeling of freedom, Ocala Aviation can train you to get your pilot's license. Ocala Aviation also offers commercial flight training for those looking to make a career change and enter the world of commercial aviation. Ocala Aviation is conveniently located at the Ocala International Airport. So if you're ready to start your adventure, stop by or give them a call today. 861-7484. That's 861-7484. You'll be glad you did. I know I am. Ocala Aviation. Call today. 861-7484.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. This morning I had something fun I wanted to share with everybody, and I don't want to do it right now. We didn't get to it this morning. We got distracted. Things happen. You get distracted, right?
That's right.
All right, so are you ready for this? The Minnesota State Fair has announced their 2015 foods. And I'm telling you, this is not just me finding some wild, willy-nilly story just to fill time. This is actually a trending story. People all over the country are curious as to what they are going to be serving at the Minnesota State Fair.
I bet, because they're really good.
Is Minnesota, I mean, did you visit Minnesota when you were a kid?
Yes, I did.
Sort of kind of live close to it?
Yep.
Is there something?
We had an aunt up there.
You had an aunt?
We had an aunt that lived in Minnesota. Yeah, really nice.
All right, so now we have the 4th of July coming up not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday.
Yep.
And 4th of July typically is one of those days when you eat crazy foods. So maybe if you're thinking about preparing something crazy, or maybe one of the event organizers for some of the events that we have going on. By the way, the Ocala JCs, the way I understand it, they are doing God and Country Day, 46th year. They'll be doing it at the Golden Ocala. I haven't heard anything different. In downtown Ocala on the 4th of July, which happens to be a Saturday, so it works out nicely for everybody. They're having something called Slide the Ride or something. Slide the City. I can't remember what it was called now. I can't find that on here. But they've got a bunch of inflatable bounce houses and water slides, etc. That'll be downtown.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Down in Denellen, over in Denellen, I should say, they have something called. How come all my notes are in the same order they were?
I don't know.
Oh, so it's the Community Fest Slide the City event. That's downtown Ocala. Rock the Springs celebration at Silver Springs. They're having a 4th of July.
With fireworks.
The Boomtown Blast. Okay, here we go. That's the one in Denellen.
Yep.
On Top of the World, the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, and they're having